The signal came at 3:47 a.m. Dr. Meera Patel jolted awake as her emergency phone buzzed on the nightstand. She grabbed it, squinting at the screen. "Get to the lab now," read the message from Director Walsh. 20 minutes later, Meera rushed through the security checkpoints of North Basin Research Center. The normally quiet facility hummed with activity. Scientists in rumpled clothes huddled around monitors. Military personnel stood rigid in corners, speaking in hushed tones. "What happened?" Myra asked, joining her team at the main console. Walsh pointed at the screen. "This happened." The display showed a waveform pattern, regular, structured, repeating. Not random, not natural. "We picked it up simultaneously at every deep space listening post," said Walsh. "It's being broadcast on multiple frequencies. The pattern repeats exactly every 9 minutes." Meera felt her mouth go dry. Alien? What else could it be? Walsh's face looked pale under the harsh lights. "The translation team has been working for 6 hours. They cracked it 20 minutes ago." He handed her a tablet. The message was simple. Asterisk, send your finest warriors. Coordinates attached. Winner receives advancement. Asterisk, they want our warriors? Myra asked. "For what?" "Some kind of tournament, we think," said Walsh. "The Security Council is meeting in 1 hour." The emergency session took place in a windowless room deep underground. 12 people sat around a metal table, military leaders, scientists, and government officials. The air felt thick with tension. General Rivera slammed his fist on the table. "We send our best Special Forces team. This is clearly a test of military might." "We don't know that," argued Dr. Chun, the xenobiologist. Warrior could mean anything to them. It might be intellectual combat. The argument grew heated. Voices rose. Faces reddened. A door opened. Everyone fell silent. A thin woman in a black suit entered. Her face showed no emotion. Her eyes looked empty, like she hadn't slept in days. The room temperature seemed to drop. "Dr. Eliza Chun," Walsh whispered to Meera, "Director of Black Void." Meera had heard rumors about Black Void, a classified project hidden from public view. Something about human enhancement. Something dangerous. "The aliens want warriors," Dr. Chun said, her voice flat. "We have warriors." She placed a small device on the table. It projected 3 human figures, 2 men and 1 woman. They looked normal except for their eyes, which appeared completely black. "Subjects 7, 12, and 19, she said. "The Void Walkers." "What are they?" asked Rivera. "Humans modified to perceive quantum possibilities," Chun explained. "Their minds exist partially outside normal space-time. They can see all potential outcomes of any combat situation." "Are they stable?" someone asked. Chun's face remained expressionless. "Stable enough." Meera noticed the slight tremor in Chun's hand. She was lying. "The council will vote," announced the chairwoman. "Do we send soldiers, diplomats, or these void walkers?" The vote took less than 5 minutes. It was unanimous. "Prepare the void walkers for transport," ordered the chairwoman. As everyone filed out, Meera caught Chun alone in the hallway. "What aren't you telling us about these walkers?" Meera demanded. Chun looked at her with those tired eyes. "They aren't just seeing possibilities, Dr. Patel. They're changing them. And lately, they've started seeing things that don't make sense." "What things?" "The end of everything," Chun whispered. "And they say it's beautiful." The Black Void facility sat buried beneath a mountain. Myra followed Dr. Chun through metal doors that hissed open and closed behind them. Red warning lights pulsed along the ceiling. Armed guards stood at every junction, their faces hard and eyes watchful. "We have 24 hours to prepare the walkers," Chun said, swiping her badge at another checkpoint. "The launch window is tight." They descended in an elevator that dropped so fast Myra's stomach lurched. The walls vibrated with distant machinery. "How many people know about this place?" Meera asked. 43, Chun replied without looking at her. 44 now, The elevator stopped. The doors opened to reveal a vast chamber. In the center stood 3 vertical tanks filled with clear fluid. Inside each floated a human figure, 2 men and 1 woman connected to machines by dozens of tubes and wires. Their eyes were open but completely black, as if filled with ink. Subject 7, male, age 32, Chun said, pointing to the first tank. Former military. Subject 12, female, age 29, was a chess champion. Subject 19, male, age 27, was a trauma surgeon. Was? Myra asked. Chun ignored the question. They volunteered 7 years ago. The procedure links their consciousness to quantum computers. They can process all possible outcomes of any situation instantly. A technician rushed up to Chun, his face pale. Dr. Chun, Subject 19 is having another episode. They hurried to the 3rd tank. The man inside was thrashing, bubbles streaming from his mouth. His black eyes were wide with panic. The monitors beside him flashed red. Increase sedation, Chun ordered. Stabilize the quantum field. The technicians worked frantically. Alarms blared. The lights flickered. What's happening to him? Myra shouted over the noise. He's seeing something, Chun said. Something that scares him. Slowly, Subject 19 stopped moving. The alarms quieted. The man floated motionless again, but his face remained frozen in an expression of terror. This is too dangerous, Myra said. These people aren't stable. We can't send them to represent Earth. Chun turned to her, eyes hard. We're not sending them to represent Earth. We're sending them as weapons. The preparation moved quickly after that. The walkers were removed from their tanks and placed in specialized suits that maintained their connection to the quantum computers. Their bodies moved stiffly, like puppets. Their black eyes stared without blinking. The launch pad was ready by dawn. The ship looked small, just enough room for the 3 walkers and their life support systems. No weapons were visible, but Myra knew the walkers themselves were the weapons. General Rivera supervised the loading. Will they follow orders? He asked Chun. They'll complete the mission, she answered. As Subject 12 passed Myra, she suddenly stopped. Her head turned with mechanical precision. Her black eyes fixed on Myra. They're not what you think, Subject 12 said, her voice raspy from disuse. They're harvesting. Who's harvesting what? Myra asked. Mines, Subject 12 whispered. They collect mines, and we're going to poison them. Guards rushed forward, pushing Subject 12 toward the ship. She didn't resist. The launch countdown began. The ground shook. Myra watched from the bunker as the ship rose on a column of blue flame, punching through clouds until it vanished. Chun stood beside her, face illuminated by monitor screens. Now we wait. How will we know if they succeed? Myra asked. Chun's lips tightened. If they fail, we won't be alive to know it. 3 days passed. The mission control room hummed with tense activity. Screens displayed the ship's vital signs and the walker's life support data. Myra hadn't left the facility. She slept in short bursts on a cot in the corner, waking to check for updates. Any contact? She asked, joining Chun at the main console. Nothing since they passed Mars, Chun said. Dark circles ringed her eyes. Their quantum link is still active, but we're getting no conscious reports. A technician called out, Director, we have incoming data. The main screen flickered. Numbers and symbols flashed across it, data streaming from the walker's quantum computers. Chun's fingers flew across her keyboard. What does it mean? General Rivera demanded, leaning over her shoulder. They're seeing something, Chun said. Her voice sounded tight. The quantum field is active. They're processing possibilities. The lights dimmed. The backup generators kicked in with a low hum. The quantum computers in the basement were drawing massive power. Put it on screen, Sean ordered. The main display changed. It showed fragmented images, flashes of crystalline structures, strange geometries that hurt to look at, beings made of light and angles. Are those the aliens? Mira asked. I think so, Sean whispered. The myth. The images shifted. They showed a vast structure floating in space, a massive crystalline web with pulsing nodes. Inside each node was something that looked like a brain, but not human. Thousands of them. Maybe millions. What are we seeing? Rivera asked. Sean's face had gone pale. It's a network. A consciousness network. More images flashed. The walker ship approaching the structure. The myth welcoming them. Then something wrong, the myth recoiling, their crystalline forms vibrating with what looked like alarm. They didn't expect the walkers, Myra realized. They expected normal humans. The screen went black. Alarms blared. The room plunged into red emergency lighting. We've lost contact, a technician shouted. No, Sean said, staring at her private monitor. We haven't lost contact. They've gone active. What does that mean? Rivera demanded. Chun didn't answer. She typed frantically, trying to restore the connection. The main screen flickered back to life. It showed Subject 7. His black eyes stared directly at the camera. Blood trickled from his nose. They're not hosting a tournament, he said, his voice distorted. They're harvesting minds, consciousness patterns. They collect them from across the galaxy. Why? Sean asked. Power, Subject 7 replied. They use them to run their network. To predict, to control. They've done this to thousands of worlds. The image shook. Alarms could be heard in the background of the transmission. What's happening? Myra asked. They tried to extract our patterns, Subject 7 said. But we're already linked to the quantum computers. We created a feedback loop in their system. His face contorted in pain. More blood flowed from his nose, his ears. It's spreading through their network, he gasped. Like a virus. We're infecting them with void. Behind him, Subject 12 screamed. The camera swung wildly to show her convulsing on the floor, black fluid pouring from her eyes. What have we done? Subject 7 whispered. His face changed, shifted, as if another face was trying to emerge from beneath his skin. They're inside us now, all of them, all their minds. The transmission cut off. The room fell silent. The only sound was the steady beep of the life support monitors, still showing 3 heartbeats. They're alive, John said. And they're coming back. 2 months passed. The ship's automated systems reported it was returning to Earth. Its engines pushed it through space at speeds that bent the laws of physics. No more transmissions came from the walkers. Only their life signs remained 3 heartbeats, slow but steady. The Black Void facility transformed into a fortress. Armed guards patrolled every corridor. Scientists built a containment chamber with walls of lead and strange metals. Military vehicles surrounded the mountain. Mira found Shun in her office, staring at screens filled with data. What will happen when they return? Myra asked. Chun didn't look up. I don't know. The quantum computers are receiving data I can't understand. It's like they're speaking a new language. Are they still human? Chun finally met her eyes. I don't think so. The day of arrival came. The ship entered Earth's atmosphere at dawn. Radar stations tracked its descent. Fighter jets escorted it to the landing zone, a concrete pad surrounded by automated gun turrets. Mira watched from the bunker with Chun and Rivera. The ship looked wrong. Its metal skin had changed color, now covered in swirling patterns that seemed to move when you didn't look directly at them. No radiation detected, a technician reported. No biological contaminants. But there's energy we can't identify. Open it, Rivera ordered. Remote arms extended toward the ship. The hatch didn't open, it dissolved. Black smoke poured out, moving against the wind. What is that? Rivera shouted. Not smoke, Chun said. Her voice shook. It's them. The black mass swirled on the landing pad. It separated into 3 distinct shapes. They solidified into human forms, the walkers. But they weren't right. Their bodies flickered like bad television signals. Their faces shifted between their own and others' thousands of others. "Send in the containment team," Rivera ordered. Soldiers in sealed suits approached cautiously. Subject 7 turned toward them. The soldiers stopped moving. Their suits crumpled to the ground, empty. "Hold fire," Rivera shouted into his radio. "Everyone hold fire." The 3 walkers moved toward the facility entrance. Doors opened automatically for them. Locks disengaged. Security systems shut down. "They're coming inside," Mira said. "We need to evacuate." "Too late," Chun whispered. The bunker door slid open. The walkers stood there, 3 shifting, flickering forms. Their eyes were no longer just black. They swirled with galaxies. "What are you?" Rivera asked, drawing his sidearm. Subject 12 looked at him. Rivera's gun turned to dust in his hand. "We are many," she said. Her voice echoed with countless others. "We contain multitudes." "The myth?" Chun asked. "The myth are gone," Subject 7 said. "Their network collapsed. But we absorbed their knowledge before it died. And the knowledge of all they had harvested." "What do you want?" Myra asked. "To give you a gift," Subject 19 said. He extended his hand. A small crystalline object floated above his palm. The walkers spoke in unison, their voices blending into a terrible harmony. "They noticed us when we destroyed the myth. They're coming now." The message stayed on every screen for 5 seconds, then vanished. Alarms blared throughout the facility. Red lights flashed. The ground shook. His form flickered between solid and shadow. The collectors. They feed on consciousness networks. The myth were hiding from them. New machines grew from the surface's technology that shouldn't exist. Myra stepped forward. "Who are you now, really?" The walkers turned to her. Their faces shifted rapidly between human and alien forms. "Can you help us?" Mira asked. The walkers directed teams of engineers and soldiers. Outside, military forces gathered from across the globe. Tanks rolled into position. Fighter jets patrolled the skies. Chun found Mira in the lab, studying the crystal the walkers had given them. "We don't need to," Chun replied. "Look." The walkers appeared beside them, moving without sound. "The collectors think we're helpless," Subject 12 added. The final hour approached. The walkers gathered in the central chamber. Everyone out, Rivera ordered. Soldiers and scientists ran for the exits. Go, Subject 12 shouted to Mira. Tell them what happened here. Mira ran. Behind her, she heard a sound like reality tearing. Outside, the sky turned black at noon. The air smelled like metal and ozone. Chun waited by a vehicle, engine running. Get in, she said. We need to reach the secondary facility. What about the walkers? Myra asked. Streams of energy connected it to the facility mountain. They're fighting, Chun said, and we need to prepare. For what comes after? Chun handed her a tablet. On it was a message from the walkers, sent moments before the tier opened. If we win, others will come. If we lose, nothing will remain. Either way, Earth must be ready.